All right, well, let's go ahead and bring up Doug Pullen. Again, he's giving his 5th speech. This is speech number 8, though, which focuses on the use of visual aids. And his speech is titled Turning. Doug?
Don't start the timer yet. Don't start the timer.
Do you want to see it? Do you want to be able to see it? Okay.
I think it's safe to say it. Everything's in order here. How do you turn on the projector? I can't do anything easy. I don't know which switch it is. Yeah. All right. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster colleagues, thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I am a woodworker, and I have built everything from furniture to cabinets. And today I'm going to talk about the project that I love the most, which is pin turning. Why do I like pin turning so much? I think it's because I have ADD. In less than an hour, you have a finished product. You know, most woodworking projects take several days to several weeks to complete, so you never get it takes a while before you get to see the final product. With these, less than an hour, you've got your final product. So what's the first thing you need to make a pin? It's a pin blank, that's what this is called. And this one is bloodwood from South America. The next thing you need is called a pin kit, which you get from the woodworking store. It has a bunch of little parts in it. Pass it around so you guys can see. Once you have your pin kit selected and your pin blank selected, the first thing you need to do is there's 2 copper tubes in there, and you need to cut your pin blank into the size of those copper tubes. Then the next thing you do is take your pin blank and put it on a drill press, and this is a self-centering vise, so that when you drill a hole down the center for the copper tubes, you always get the hole down the center of the stock. Once you have your the hole drilled for the copper tube, here you can see I was drilling it. The next thing you need to do is take the copper tubes and glue them in the holes that you've just drilled. Once the glue dries, the next thing you need are called bushings, which are these little spacer things here. You can kind of see them on the picture here. What they do is they prevent you from taking off too much wood, so that your pin blank has enough wood for your pin kit. So what you do is, there's an order of these things, depending on the pin kit you're doing. So put that on, this is called a mandrel. Put that on your mandrel. Put your first pin there. Put the bushing on, second one. Last one, and tighten this guy up, get them on there nice and tight so they don't spin around. Slide this guy over so there's no play in the mandrel. Tighten it up. Now you're ready for your chisels. So So every good pen maker has a basic set of 3 chisels. They have this one, which is a paring chisel used for making tenons. You have your skew chisel, which this is what you start your project off with when it's square, and you use it to take the square edges off of your pen blank and get it a little bit round. Once you have it round, you go to the spindle gouge and use this to finish your project off. So once you've, I have a picture of me doing that. So you rest your chisel here on this. This is spinning inwards towards it, and then just take off the wood that you need. And there's the mess. I wanted to do it live, but I figured 1, the mess, and 2, the noise would be accepted. So now that you've used your chisels and you've got this cut down to what you want, the next thing is you need to put a finish on it. So this is called friction polish, and it's essentially what they use at bowling alleys to keep the lanes slick. And what you do is you pour this on the pin blanks while it's on the mandrel, let it wait for a minute. And then the secret is you take a paper towel, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again, wrap it around, and put some friction with your fingers on here, turn the lathe on, and what happens is that friction builds up a little bit of heat, it opens up the pores on the wood, and it accepts the polish. A lot of pen makers only use 1 coat of the friction polish. I make my pens to last forever, so I put at least 3 on usually. I just remembered something. I forgot a step in there. Once you're done cutting it down with the chisels, it's time to sand. So I usually start off with 120 grit and work my way up to 400 grit. And then if it's a piece of wood like this that's hard and it has grain that's close together, there are these pads, they're called wet sanding pads that I use. And this goes up to 2000 grit. And you just run them along there just like you did that I showed for the finish. Pass this around so you guys can see what that feels like, because it doesn't feel like sandpaper, it's very soft. I think it's 1500 and 2000, the gray is 2000. So, yeah, so you put the friction polish on here. Once it's sanded, wrap this around here, put a little pressure on it with your fingers, turn the lathe on, and once it gets warm, just keep moving it and keep it warm so it opens up the pores. Like I said, I put at least 3 coats on there usually. At that point, you're done with everything on the pen lathe, and what you do is you take these off of here, you get your pen kit, and you go over to a vise, and you insert the pieces of the pen kit in here using the vise. Very carefully, because if you push too hard, you're going to crack your wood, because this is really thin by the time you're done. And once you're done with that part, you have a finished product, which could look like a piece. Dreams of me over the years. No, but the first person that gets the table topic number today will win the one that was pictured here. So that's kind of the quick and dirty on how to make a pen. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, for the time.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I don't have very many talents after watching Doug's presentations. From his kayaking to his photography to his pen making. I can hardly believe it. That's really, really cool. That's a good way. I think that'd be a good Christmas present. Because it's, personalized and handmade.
Yeah, so this year what I did for Christmas is I made ice cream scoops and pasta spoons and
ice cream scoops.
And my 2 aunts, they refuse to use it. They're like, it's too pretty. They're trying to figure out how to hang it in their kitchen. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Doug.
Thank you.
We're going to invite our next